What's going on, MCU fans? We are back at it today talking about all of the madness going on with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Today, I'm mainly focusing on three things. I'm talking about Loki speculation, I'm talking about the Kang situation, as well as the Fantastic Four. So hit the like button if you love the MCU 3000, and let's get going. Okay, so I'm pretty sure by now we've all seen the brand new trailer for Loki Season 2, and it seems like it's almost rejuvenated the fan base. The trailer did crazy numbers on YouTube, and so my question is, can this show be what fans are yearning for right now? Personally, I think that it can. You know, we've been around Loki since the very early days of the MCU, and so anything involving him almost feels like we're going back home. There's been a lot of brand new characters to the MCU recently, and so it does just feel nice to be going into a project watching somebody that we know and trust. But what do you guys think is going to happen in Loki Season 2? Well, we know where we left off, right? Loki is trapped in another dimension where a variant of He Who Remains is in control, and Sylvie basically knowingly started a war. And now, since then, all we've really gotten is some talk about incursions and Multiverse of Madness. We had Kang the Conqueror, obviously, in Quantumania, and then that post-credit scene of the Council of Kangs, as well as the other post-credit scene with the Victor Timely sequence from Loki Season 2. But like that's about it. That's all that's connecting the first season of Loki to everything else. And at the end of Loki Season 1, it felt like, wow, this has massive implications. But now we're finally back, and the trailer shows us that Loki is time slipping, which looks pretty painful. He's going between the past and the present, in and out of timelines, and they're asking the new character, Obi, to help, and he says that shouldn't be possible. And so the more I think about this, the more I feel like he's time slipping because he truly is a man out of his time. The farther and farther away he is from his dimension, the more stretched he is becoming. Very similar to how Miles in Across the Spider-Verse starts glitching after he leaves Earth 1610. It's all connected. But another thing I want to highlight is what is happening in this scene. Loki is destroying this mural and revealing He Who Remains' face, and maybe he's revealing to someone that it's been Kang this entire time, but they've just had their minds wiped and they were told that it's the Timekeepers, the Time Lords, or whoever. There's a Timekeeper's broken statue on the floor, and so I don't know, it just looks really important, whatever this scene is. The biggest thing though, and shout out to the Den of Nerds for noticing this, is the emphasis on the time loom. A loom, if you don't know, is a device used to weave together cloth. I didn't know this before I looked it up. And we see a big time loom in this trailer, as well as a bunch of references to it. And so what's going on, and how does all of this connect? It seems like all the timelines are starting to come apart and war is inevitable, just like he said at the end of Loki Season 1. And so I'm curious to see how all of this is going to shape up. Is there another villain for this season? Who's good and who's bad? I mean, we saw Victor Timely in the trailer. He could be the main villain. We could also see the Council of Kangs come into things, or it could be somebody completely different. Somebody that we don't even know about. I don't know, but it's fun to speculate. Please let me know any of your thoughts that you might have down in the comments. And this is also a good point to move on to my second topic, and that is Kang. And I know you might not want to, but let's start with the situation going on with Jonathan Majors. And look, we don't need to get into this entire thing at all, because you know as well as I do that the internet is very quick to place blame. Very rash, very quick to freak out. There hasn't even been a court case yet. And at the end of the day, there are really only two options. Either he is found not guilty and things probably just move forward as planned, or he's found guilty and he's probably removed from the MCU. I mean, most likely, you'd think that's what they would do. I read that the prosecution has delayed the trial to September, apparently, due to unpreparedness. And so at this point, I think a lot points to him being acquitted, but honestly, you can't assume anything. But my hypothetical here is that he's gonna stay and the multiversal saga plan is gonna stay relatively the same. It would just be so hard to switch things up, especially after you just had a full arena filled with a bunch of Kangs. Like, I don't know, and it seems to me that recasting really isn't possible. People bring up the argument with Ed Norton's Hulk and Rhodey from Iron Man, but I don't know, at this point he was in Loki Season 1, he was in Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, the post-credits, he's going to be in Loki Season 2. Like, there was a lot riding on this one actor. Whether they should have put that much on this one actor, I don't know. There's also literally a movie coming out called Kang Dynasty. Like, I don't know, it's a crazy situation. But back to the movies and shows. What we know right now is that Kang the Conqueror was defeated in Quantumania, but I want to emphasize he wasn't killed. He's definitely still in play. The Council of Kangs are now working together to stop people from messing with the multiverse. Immortus says in that post-credit scene, "None of us killed him, they did. They're beginning to touch the multiverse, and if we let them, they'll take everything we've built." And so my theory is all of the Kangs are going to form a plan, and they're going to start slowly enacting that plan and engaging with different Avengers in the movies and TV shows as we get closer, and then it's going to turn into an Avengers-level threat, which is going to result in Kang Dynasty. It's going to become all-out war and get insane, but then Kang the Conqueror is going to show up and kind of save the day. Like, I feel like he's going to defeat the Council and save everybody, but at the same time, he's going to conquer. He's going to do his thing. So he's going to enslave humanity in the other worlds that are involved. Probably a big incursion going on with multiple worlds, thus creating Battle World, where he's going to assume like a godlike role. And I'm currently reading Jonathan Hickman's Secret Wars, and so I can see how they could adapt this. And just in my head, it looks so awesome. The only downside is Doom is the god in Secret Wars. And so I think that they're kind of just switching that out for Kang. And I selfishly wish that this wasn't the case because so far in my comic book reading journey, Doctor Doom is easily my favorite villain. And so I don't know. I don't know if they're going to introduce him or not before Secret Wars. It would be amazing if he was a part of it, but I guess I would understand if they're saving him for another big bad down the line. But guys, let's talk about the Fantastic Four. Finally. And what is going on and why is this taking forever? I know I'm a little impatient, but it just feels like we've been waiting for the Fantastic Four for forever. I feel like it's been heavily hinted at since, around Spider-Man Far From Home? Like around there? We've always known that they're going to come to the MCU. And then there's just been these casting rumors, like the cast is going to get announced, and that's been happening for like 2 years. And then there was the introduction of John Krasinski as Reed Richards. And I was like, yes, that's him. That's Reed Richards. Let's go. But no. Actually, everyone, we just did that because we want to appease the fans, and we're going to cast someone else. And I'm not going to lie, guys. Personally, that set me off a little bit. Because he's perfect, and they just had Wanda pop his head like a balloon, and they sent him on his way. But I digress. We still don't have a cast nailed down. There are heavy rumors, and right now that rumor is that Vanessa Kirby is Sue Storm, and Joseph Quinn is Johnny Storm. And I do love this. The White Widow and Eddie Munson, like, let's go. But the rumors keep circulating with Reed Richards. Is it going to be Adam Driver? Is it going to be Dev Patel? Is it going to be Matt Smith? Personally, I could see Matt Smith being a great Doom. Y'all already know I'm obsessed with Doom, and then putting Daemon Targaryen as Doom, like, that's awesome. But apparently Galactus will be the main villain of this movie, and it's gonna be set in the 1960s. And so I'd imagine something goes wrong maybe towards the end of the movie, and they pop out in present day, or maybe they have to travel to present day because they know something that our heroes don't. And then they meet up with Shang-Chi and Captain America and Doctor Strange, and everybody comes together to face down Kang. I don't know, that sounds pretty badass, and the more that I talk about it, the more excited I get. People right now in the MCU, it does just feel like madness. Everybody's saying that it's a lost cause, and it doesn't feel the same that it did after Phase 4 and Infinity War, and I can totally see that. Like, I understand the dips, but it's hard to replicate what happened with Infinity War and Endgame, and I feel like just over the last couple years, they're just trying to get back on their feet. They're introducing a lot of new characters, and I think that by the time we get to Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars, everybody's going to be pretty darn happy. Or at least I hope they will. Fingers crossed on that. But that's why I like speculating about all this, and that's why I like starting this conversation. I want Jones Vibes to be a place where MCU fans can come and feel like they can talk about whatever, and just start the conversation or join the conversation. You can put your comments down below, or you can also follow me on Twitter or X or whatever. I'm at Jones Vibes Only, and I'd love to hear from you. But hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and make sure to keep up the good vibes. The multiversal saga is here, and where's it heading? We'll see.